Welcome to the Diary of Dating Over 50 with Tonya R. Lewis, the hottest dating show on social media, hosted by the sassiest model of them all, Tonya R. Lewis. Are you 50 and single, dating or waiting to mingle? Be a guest on the Diary of Dating Over 50 with your host, Tonya R. Lewis.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Tonya R. Lewis with the Diary of Dating Over 50. And y'all know I'm in my comfort zone because I got men. We're reigning men. So today, you know how I do it. I let everybody introduce themselves. And I just want to give y'all a little shocker because we're going to have another guy that's going to ease in a few minutes. But first, let's go with our return guest. I love him. David O.H. Yes.
Hey y'all, this is your man David the O Oliver, friendly neighborhood loud fire mouth. How y'all guys doing out there in the world of staying single or celibacy? Which one is it?
Y'all know he always gonna come live like that. All right, and then okay, I know y'all ladies been in my inbox. Y'all been saying, "What is the bedroom therapy?" I done had so many women ask me what that is. Well, I have him live in effect. Introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Steve Moore. I'm the owner of Bedroom Therapy, and we're not a massage parlor. We don't do massages.
What do you do?
Bedroom Therapy is a product-based company. We provide male and female enhancement products. We've got capsules, coffee and honey for men. And then we've got honey for women for hot flashes and the libido.
Ooh, what? Y'all hear that? Okay. Well, we're going to find out more about this bedroom therapy. First of all, we're going to ask the guys some questions. We're going to get into the bedroom therapy because I'm interested too, y'all, and anything that can help or enhance. I'm all about it. Okay. So the first question we're going to ask David. Okay. David, is there expectation on Black men dating that you see in this era that we in right now?
Yes, the misconception of mixing old school with new school. Because you get a lot of women saying to men, "Oh, you got to provide this, 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 and this for me." And it's like, but you claim to be an independent woman and you work hard. So why do I have to cover your basics just to date you first, to get to know you? Now, it's one thing if we're married or in a committed relationship, sure. But the misconception is either you're going to go old school or new school. Pick one.
What's the difference between old school and new school, David?
Well, for me, old school is tradition. It's like if the man is providing, he brings what he brings to the table, the woman receives, and then she provides what she can, which is making sure the house is hers. She dictates what goes on in the home. He provides, and if she can, cool. But of course, in this modern era with economy and the way things are going, sure, we can do a work where we work together. It doesn't have to be 50-50. There is no percentage. It's just what can you do, what can I do, so we can make this happen together. The new school philosophy is simply put, you do for me in order for me to be there, period. Like, that's it. My JJ, and that's it. Everything is irrelevant.
Okay. Okay. So Stephen, do you have a concept?
Well, I think that's the reason why a lot of women hated Kevin Samuels.
Real. Okay.
He kept it real. I think Kevin Samuels was assassinated.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Samuels was getting ready to bring back the family unit.
Yes.
Okay. Do tell.
Okay, so slavery was based on breaking up the family unit. I always say Kevin Samuels had more access to us than Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Because Martin Luther King was based on civil rights, not the economy, not economics. When you look back and during his era, there was no social media. So Kevin Samuels had a potential to reach more people in a different way. And when he started talking about the power that be and bringing back the black family unit economically, they couldn't have that.
No.
It's like, no, we can't stop. We got to stop that, because if that happens, guess what? We might come together as a people.
Figure it out,
And they
huh?
figure it out, and so they got rid of him.
Wow. So you believe that the Black unity is and that affects the dating of today?
Of course it does.
Okay.
It's all about the family unit. As long as you can keep the family unit separated, it's going to affect us economically, because two is always better than one. But like he was saying, women are so driven to having their own at the wrong stage in life. You know, they want to get the education, then they want to come back and try to build a family unit. It doesn't work like that. We have to have, women have a part, men have a part.
There's a part that we play.
There's a part that we play.
Okay. Okay. So how does society, expect expectations about the masculinity affect the way the African American men approach sex and intimacy?
You want to take that first? Because I'll tell you, my answer is going to walk the world.
You need to think about it, David, or you?
No, I got an answer, because Anthony Mackie just said it on the interview.
We got
about
somebody
how,
else in the house. Give me 1 second. Who is that in the house? Hey, Tigger Hood is a comedian. Can you introduce yourself to my viewers, pretty please?
But they call me Tiger Hood. I'm a stand-up comedian. I work for Monza Toyota manufacturing, but I have a small business also. But I'm feeling what you guys are saying. I do agree with him saying that your boy was assassinated. I had the same theory.
We got another believer.
Well, it's always possible. You got to understand that the family unit is detrimental to our oppressor and our society, according to them.
Yes.
I always say, how many times do you see Mexicans with 1 or 2 kids?
Never.
How many times do you see a white family with 1 or 2 kids?
Not much.
So what's going to happen when the family unit is gone? I mean, what happened? We talk about generational wealth. How is that generational wealth when you have no generation to leave it to?
Yeah. So, so you think like society looks at you all differently than they look at our other ethnicities when it comes to sex and intimacy?
Yes, because Anthony Mackie spoke to it partially in an interview on The Pivot, where he said the masculinity is being deleted. And it's true to a degree, because now, I guess me and these guys came up 60s, 70s, right? So I was fortunate to have my grandfather around me and my uncles, and I saw 4 different types of men. Not necessarily black men, but 4 different types of men, but each had the same thing. They worked hard, loved hard, did what they could to provide, and they had their problems, but they knew what to do. But my grandfather was hardworking, blue-collar guy. He didn't like lying. He didn't want all that crazy smoking and drinking and stuff in his house. So I say a lot to say, these are things that now we're being told are acceptable, as well as some things are toxic. And not to knock, but you're seeing where the gay man is becoming the man, because he's supposed to be sensitive to emotions. And I'm like, but when y'all say that, is that all you want from a man? Does somebody emotionally sound? Because a lot of men are, but then you say everything else is toxic, especially if we find you attractive. Like, oh my God, I cannot tell a woman, hey, that's a nice dress. Hey, that's a nice fit, without it going far. Or if I am showing interest, it's light. But I got to wait for her to come 100 miles an hour just to match my 10 speed.
Okay, David, let me stop. Let me hold you right there, because you said something that was pivotal. You said that women, we want you emotional. I'm a woman, and I don't want you emotional, but I want you to show me your emotions, if you get what I mean. I want you to be a man.
Correct. But a lot of women don't understand what that means. See, you're clear on what that means to still make your man a man. Notice I preface it by saying now the gay male is prominent. What he presents is manly. It's not toxic, but what we would present is, and it's like, I'm seeing it in social media, I'm seeing it in entertainment, and it's like, I get it. They have a place. It's not that they don't have a place, but you can't tell me the stuff that I'm doing is toxic. And they used, what's his name? Billy Porter and Jason Lee with Hollywood Unlocked, they had a battle because Jason's like, everything Billy doing is hyper feminine. That's not how all gay men are. We still are men.
Can I interject there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
You know, you talking about emotions and so forth.
Mhm.
I think we're kind of getting a little bit too deep, and I'm gonna tell you why. Michael Basin, I don't know if you remember. Y'all remember Michael Basin?
All right.
Yeah.
He wrote a book called "Why Men Cry in the Dark." I do remember that, right?
Yeah.
And I got upset behind that because he told a secret that was really a serious truth. And he said that the reason why we cry in the dark is because women become our friends. They become, we get a woman, she becomes our main friend, that person that we tell everything to, our innermost secrets. So you get that emotion. And that was, like I say, it kind of angered me a little bit because that's all we had left. But see, you guys, if y'all having problems with your man, you can go tell your girlfriend and she'll sympathize with you, and you go out and drink, and oh, he ain't no good, let's forget him, such and such. We can't do that. We can't tell our partner, hey, man, I'm having female troubles,
Okay,
man.
so wait. Why not? Why can't you talk to your brother?
I'll tell you right now. As soon as you tell that brother that you kicking it with your partner, that you having trouble, that's gonna be the first guy at your house trying to holler at your woman.
Steven, do you believe that?
Unfortunately, yeah.
You do, yo.
It's the truth. I mean, it's the truth.
Because we look for the easy way in.
Exactly right. And he's already had, especially if you got a man who was attracted. See, one thing you got to understand is because you have a man don't mean you stop being attracted to another man. Another man doesn't see you as attractive. So you still have that going on for you. So that's why I require. Say again?
No. I might see other men attractive, but my loyalty to that man and my love for him is more important than that instant gratification that I see across the room with the muscles and his tall and his head. So,
but see, that has nothing to do with it nowadays. Muscles has nothing to do with it.
Right. It does not have anything to do with it.
All.
That's right. The point I'm getting at is this. What I look for in a woman, and we're talking about dating over 50, is loyalty. Peace. Loyalty reigns supreme over everything. And I'm going to tell you why. Because women fall in love with a lot of times what we say, how we say it, and the mood that's surrounding us saying these things. Whereas you can love me and 1,000 other guys, but you can be loyal to me when you're mad at me, when you don't want me to touch you, but another man can't. But if you love me, you can be laying up sitting next to somebody. It's when I love him. You know, he's trying to get you. He's got you already because you're in his company. So you've already broken the loyalty aspect of it. If you're in the company of another man, but you have a man, you've already broken the loyalty code there.
Well, but you know what? A loyal woman won't let it get that far.
Exactly right.
I'm not going to entertain. If I got a guy, I'm not going to entertain another man. I'm not going to let him get close because temptation will pull you in.
Exactly right. And see, I'm really serious about this because here's my thing on that. It's just me personally. If a woman accepts one flower, one rose from another man, and she's my woman, he's got it. It's like petting my dog. You pet my dog, he gonna go with you. He gone. I don't want him no more. My woman loyalty is the most it's the most serious thing that a woman can have that will affect her man in either way, good or bad.
And people, I think they have a misconception when it comes to cheating.
Okay.
I think cheating is anything that you won't do if your man was sitting right there.
Absolutely.
I agree. I agree 100%.
That's it right there. That's it right there. And being number two and number three in a lot of situations, trust me, he's speaking truth. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I done had chicks come to me and it's like, I'm thinking they separating. Next thing I know, they talking about to me like I'm the one trying to get more out of it. Like, no, sis, you came to me. Okay. I'm sorry I gave you good D+. I'm sorry. My pluses outweigh your man pluses. That's his fault. He needed to do
that. Finances trump everything.
Oh, okay.
And that's not a good thing. And that's not a good thing.
No, it's not.
And you know what? Excuse me. A woman with the right characteristics, like qualities, there's very few men that she can't have.
Right.
If she knows what to do to get that man, there are very few men that she can't have because we're different by one thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if I can expand on my point about the emotional aspect that you were trying to touch on, Tonya, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying with that is what Tiger talked about was that point. But the second point as to why most men can't get that out is, again, adding on to what he's saying, is that once you tell it to that woman, now it's a question of, are you too vulnerable?
Exactly.
Are you too weak at some points or too emotional? But you just asked me to show you. And a lot of sisters out here, trust me and believe, you may not be one of them. I had one of them in front of me. I had to look at her like she was stupid because she's a counselor. And I'm like, how are you counseling people? Because you can be better for a woman than you are for a man. And guess what? She went the second round.
Okay. So today I interviewed with the Atlanta Journal. A lady called me and I interviewed with her today. And she asked me a question about being single. Can you be happy and single? Stephen, you want to answer that question?
Can you be happy and be single?
Yeah.
I think you can be single but not happy, because there's just certain things that women desire. Now, if that man has what that woman needs that encompasses those desires, it's a different thing. But anytime a woman is looking for, it all depends on what she's looking for in that man. And unfortunately, most of the time it's security. Bottom line, women will seek security over everything.
What about sex?
You know, it's funny you mention that. You know, I was going to touch on the sex part. I was going to let him finish that because I got the sex part. I can answer that part.
You know, women will put up with men who are having financial issues, but they're not going to put up with a man that's having financial issues but not taking care of the bedroom also.
That's correct.
Preach it, sir.
You can't do it. If he's taking care of you in the bedroom, that'll give him some leeway. But if he's not taking care of you in the bedroom, he can't.
Well, okay. So what if he is not taking care of you for health reasons?
Well, he can't take care of you in the bedroom if he's not willing to do what he needs to do to take care of those health reasons. See, with men, men will play on women's emotions. When they have issues, when they have health issues, especially sexual issues, they will play on a woman's emotions because they know women are basically emotional creatures. So initially they would say, let's say for instance, a man came and said, you know, babe, I really like you. I want to wait 2, 3, 4 months before we're sexually active, before we have sex. You know, I respect you. No, I respect you. And this is why I want to wait. What would you say?
Well, I would think something is wrong, and I would have that conversation with him. Okay.
But see, you're a mature woman. That's why you're saying that.
Say it again. Tell her again.
Yeah.
Why are you? I mean, is there an issue that you're having with erectile?
And more than likely, you've experienced that before.
I have.
That's why you're saying that.
I have.
Exactly.
So, Tigger, David, can you answer that question for me?
Your original question about being happy while being single?
Yes.
Yes. Because the thing is, I'm taking a page from a woman's book. The reason why I can say I'm happy because I have options. I see why a lot of women are bouncing around, going to these events, and I say, what are they doing? So when I sit down with the ones I'm cool with and I listen to them, I say, oh, they're discovering self, and they're realizing he may not have this over here, he may not have that over here, but until I get the one that has a complete package, I'm going to do me and leave no residue or nothing behind. I'm just going to enjoy myself. But if she's upfront and honest with these guys, the guys respect it. See, that's why I tell a friend of mine, I said, if I'm telling you up front, I do my thing, you do your thing, I keep my business to myself, you keep your business to yourself. When we see each other, we together, cool. I'm happy, you happy. Because I'm discovering what I want. It takes time. And then when I figure it out, I'll find somebody and make sure she has a complete package.
Okay, let me.
So wait a minute. Just put it on all three. Let's everybody be on camera, okay? Because I can see everybody's face.
Can I give you my take on that?
Okay.
It's two things. There is a level of happiness when you're single, but as for me personally, my single life is that way because I'm a single parent.
Mhm.
I have a 16-year-old.
You told me that.
Most women don't want to share that time, that time with a child.
Ditto.
Bro,
Vehicle, he has his own life. He's rarely with me. When he was a kid, he couldn't stay away from me. Now he's gone, almost a grown man. He's got his own life. So now I'm working on the next quarter of my life. So now we're talking about dating over 50, which I've never done. And I'm 64. So, and the reason being because I have a son and I don't want to make it a habit of bringing females home. You understand?
How old is your son?
He's 16. He'll be 17 in May. He has his own life.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 64.
You're 64. I'm 68. My son is 8.
Okay. But see, here's the thing about that. That's great. I love that because people tell me, say, why you wait so late? You know what I tell them? I say, it's God's world. He had to bring me through something to get me to fatherhood.
Yeah.
So
we're better fathers now than we were when we were older. When we were young.
And we know a lot more. And I'm going to tell you something else. We start talking about a woman 50. When I get a woman who's 50 or older, I'm going to be looking for, marriage. I'm going to be looking for something.
You said that you didn't date. You mostly dated women in their late 30s and 40s.
That's exactly right. But I'm single.
I'm changing your mind, huh?
But see, but I'm not content with that. Like I said, it has a reason. It has a reason for that because of my son. It's not. I don't want him to think that I'm just having women. And it's not the case. Maybe a couple of friends of mine, but at the same time, now I'm looking for that woman in her 50s because I'm gonna tell you about the age groups. As you all know, it is said that a woman matures faster than a man. A woman is a woman at 18. We gotta wait till we're 21. And their thinking is different. A woman like you said, in your late 30s and early 40s, it's like a woman in their 50s mentally. Because they have to tackle life early, especially when they're childbearing. Yeah, they have to tackle life early, so they have to focus on other things. We're still boys until we die. We have boys.
So do anybody see themselves? Okay, let me ask this question because I want to bring Steve in on this. We're going to talk about erectile dysfunction. Okay, and when you get a certain age, it happens. Okay, will you have that conversation with the woman that you are seeing, or will you tell her, let's wait for 4 months?
No, I tell her up front.
Okay.
Because I had 2 situations where somebody I was dating, I thought she understood the situation. She tried to take advantage of it, trying to make a joke to her friends and family, but it backfired when I said, so what was more important? You know what I'm saying? Because I told her I'm type 2 diabetic. It's sporadic. But when I do my thing, when I'm working out and I do my eat right, and I don't need no Viagra, none of that, I kill her.
Okay, so let's don't kill her.
No, I'm telling you the truth. I did it like one morning and I passed out in 5 seconds. And she was freaking out because she didn't understand. But you asked me to tell you everything, and I did. So after we got done having a wild session that morning before I took her to work, I'm leaning back to get something off the dress, and I went like this. And so because I hadn't worked out, I hadn't eaten. No, correction. I worked out the night before, but I didn't eat. So being a type 2 diabetic, you don't know when it's going to drop or go up. And that's why I tell cats in the situation, have your preparation, but also have your conversation with your lady.
Right. Now let me bring Steve in on that because he has a natural product. Go ahead, Steve.
And so what I've found, people concentrate so much on ED. Okay. My product not only provides benefits for people with ED, it's an enhancer. So regardless of how well you're performing, you can't perform as well as you would with the product. And so when it comes to discussing ED, women sometimes don't realize that it takes a certain man to be able to discuss it.
Yes.
All right. Because it can have a negative effect. You know, you may want to talk about it, but that's not something we want to discuss.
Right.
And that's why so many men purchase products and not want that woman to know that they're purchasing a product. But it's something's going to happen. As we get older, it's going to happen. Depending on the happiness that you want in your relationship, depends on whether or not you're going to discuss it with your woman. But you have to discuss it in a way that you both are going to understand it,
Mhm.
because otherwise it's going to have a negative effect.
Mhm.
Well, you know what? You have to. Here's the thing about ED. That's not something I talk about. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we live in a time where there are so many products out there that can enhance you that are not necessarily ED products. They're not just specifically for ED. They're for overall health and virility. So the thing is, you've got stuff like Shilajit. You've got different things out there that help you your overall health. Now, if you're a type 2 diabetic and everything, it's gonna cause a problem here. I've never taken a Viagra. I've never taken a gorilla or whatever they call it.
A gorilla.
Well, you have to be careful with stuff you take. See, one good thing about my product, erectile dysfunction or the inability to have an erection, it's all about blood flow. That's
but you know what else it's about? It's about the woman. I tell a woman,
boy, I'm glad he said that.
what you get out of me is what you bring out of me.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask you
out of you,
man.
And
I'm gonna ask you, am I doing it right, or how should we do it?
But you're talking about communication.
Yeah.
No,
many couples don't communicate when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
They just don't. It's like, why would you want to guess what it takes when somebody can just tell you what it takes?
I don't want to guess.
Crazy. So you're hitting and missing. Well, conversations could make you hit all the time.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, you have to prepare. You have to start before you get to the bed.
I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna let them finish. I'm gonna shut up.
Dave, don't shut up.
No, because what Tiger just said, right? Am I saying it right, Tiger?
Say again.
Your name is Tiger, right? Am I saying it right? Okay. A man and I had this discussion at the vitamin shop with a young lady who was the manager there that knew me, and I was getting some new concoction from her. We all having this conversation. He overheard what I said as I walked away with the other girl, came back, and he said, man, but hey, I had a similar problem with my lady. But did your lady ever really explain it, or y'all talk? Because it also could be in her, bro. And I said, yeah, you hit the nail on the head, because I don't have this problem often. It's some women just turn me off. And guess what? In her case, alcohol.
Alcohol.
To get this out of her. She was drinking.
Smoking.
Yes.
All
yes.
All kinds of stuff.
And recently I had a situation with a young lady, and to Steve's point, communication. I'm talking to her this whole time about what she like, what she don't like, and she's saying she can't talk. But the second I did the one thing, I said, hold on, baby. I'm not going to listen to your mouth. Since you can't talk about it, let me listen to your body. The second I did that, her ass left out, like she said, gummy worms. Her legs were like gummy worms. Those are her exact words. And I said, then why won't you let me listen to you? I'm telling you what I like. We too old to be playing coy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my point. Like, don't be coy.
The thing of it is, women and men at our age, we should be able to experience sex to the ultimate today. Yes. We should be able to go all the way or do everything.
It just sounds a mouthful.
and you know what? And the woman has to be have to be secure within herself and okay with her sex. Every woman is not secure with their sexuality. You know, some women are even scared to tell their mates they masturbate. Let's do it in front of each other. That's another form of having sex and enjoying.
And not only that, it's healthy.
Yes, I was going to say, yeah. But here's the joke, Tonya.
What's the joke?
They do all this stuff online now. I'm seeing all these women doing them. What's that thing on TikTok? Oh, you're 40 over and you're fine. You're 50 and you're fine. I'm seeing them do all this stuff. But when you go to talk to them, it's like, oh, no. I just want to get married. I need to get married today. I'm like, wait. What happened to the ultra little freaky, like, thirst trap thing? I enjoy that.
That's the wrong woman. That's the wrong
No. Understand what I'm saying? This is me talking to a chick I just met. Right? However way I did, grocery store, laundromat, online, dating service, whatever. But then I go see what they putting out to the world, or when they talk to me to try to give up that bravado, like I'm every woman, I'm strong, I'm Wonder Woman. And I'm like, nah, you got to know you ain't carrying it like that for real. Because by the time you get home, it's like my boys you said at the strip club. All that stuff they did at the strip club, they won't do when you get them at home.
Yeah.
They lay there, and my boy called it lazy cat. I don't know when he used the P word, but he called it lazy cat.
Okay. So,
well, your point, Tonya. To your point,
go ahead.
is this. You know, a lot of times, I will go back to what I said before. What you bring out of me is what you get out of me. So if you're dating and we're over 50, baby, this is the last half of this game. You're right. Go all out. But I gotta bring out of you, you gotta bring out of me, and we gotta accept it and enhance each other by encouraging each other. You gotta talk dirty sometimes.
Yeah, one thing we have to realize is that as we get older, time is different.
Yes.
Time
we're the same though. We're the same, guys. We are the same.
Yeah.
We concentrate too much on the time. I don't care about the time. I care about my time.
No, what I'm saying is that
I have
when you were younger, you had more time to try to figure each other out.
But here's the thing, though. What do we do?
We just do it. Get there.
What do we do as we get older? We're going back to childhood. So I want to stop at high school at 55, 60. I want to stop at high school when I was doing it like it was done. You know what I mean? So when I'm in, so what?
It's not just the act of sex. What about the intimacy?
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Well, that's what we're speaking of.
Yeah,
we're talking about intimacy. I'm not talking about intercourse. We're talking about intimacy. You just use a different word.
Because intimacy lasts a lot longer than sex does.
Yeah, intimacy starts somewhere. It doesn't start in the bed.
Exactly.
It can start at the movie theater. It can start at the church. Believe it or not.
Yes.
It can start anywhere. By the time you get to the bed, baby, we both gonna have 3 or 4 minutes. But we had it already.
Okay, so we're talking about intimacy. And so I'm speaking from a woman's point of view. When we find that our person that we want to be with and that we want to be intimate and we want to have that lasting relationship, that final, that going out the door relationship, it's so hard for us to find that because your mouth service say that you want it, but your actions don't match it. And if you're seeing trying to see so many other women, it's hard for you to concentrate on me.
Well, here's the thing, though.
I was going to add something to it, but go ahead. I'm going to add something else. Go ahead.
What is the it that you're looking for? So you have to understand.
I'm looking for the commitment.
Okay, that's commitment. Now, you have to find out from that guy, if he wants the same commitment from you that you want from him. If y'all want it at the same time, it's like a race. If you're running with your partner, you don't want to run too far ahead of them, and you don't want to get too far behind them. You want to check and see if you all are still running the same race at the same.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What you think, David?
Well, 2 things. One, I had a situation with another person who do these type of conversations online, and this is why I hate about people don't pay attention to what they're saying. Now, remember I told you the last interview, there's a difference between sexual and sensual, right? And what I speak to with a lot of women that I be talking to is about the sensuality, not the sexuality. But again, this toxic bull comes into play. And I'm like, yo, not everything a dude is saying has to lead into the bedroom. And it's just, I release and you're not satisfied. Hello, I'm trying through conversation to get it. And she brought up a subject about the simple things of cuddling. And all I said in my comment was, yes, I wish women would do that more because that allows for more intimacy. She took it and thought I had to think about not talking. She started talking about trauma and women experiencing trauma and not wanting to share themselves right away. I said, yeah, I get that, but that's not my point at this point. You already obviously past the trauma if we're in close proximity to each other and we sitting to get time to get to know each other. Whether we sitting in a chair or laying flat out on the bed, it doesn't matter. It's again, let's communicate. Let me share my problems, you share yours, and we keep it here. We develop a covenant between the two of us that can't go awry. And that makes things better. So a lot of times, some of the women, like to Steve's point about time, they want to, especially over our age bracket, they want to run right into a relationship. And it's like, nah, take the time to still get to know each other. Because I can have 20 options, you can have 5, and it'll still be a whole bunch of mismatch, but you're going to make time for the one you want. And that's a gamble. And another thing, all of us know red flags. We just choose at this age to ignore it. I mean, a lot of women who talking this talk, and I'm like, but you know better. You just told 20 other women not to do it, but here you are.
Okay, so Tigger, go ahead and take us on out. And then I'm going to read some final thoughts here.
Well, here's my final thought about dating women over 50. When I find one that is physically, mentally, and emotionally ready to say yes. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys you got to get to know in depth. It takes a long time. You'll see me. I'm gonna make you laugh. I love laughter. Laughter is part of foreplay, actually.
It is.
And I mean, there's so many different factors that come into play. But you got to be ready to do high school. We're going back to high school, baby. We're gonna party. We're gonna travel. We're gonna do. I don't even like word use the word sex. I'm gonna say make love for lack of a better the other term. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're doing it to the fullest. We're not playing around. We're not playing with a whole lot of time. We got 50 to 69, maybe 70. And we're gonna do it like
I want to be dropping it at 90. So I'm sorry.
if it's still up at 90, girl, and they got something to run it, we're gonna do it. I just want you to look. Because here's the thing. If you date a woman, let's say you date a woman, y'all 17 together, y'all got together. She still looks 17, that's 70.
Yeah.
But if I know you and I met you at 55, you have to be beautiful because I have to go with that for the rest of the way.
Yes.
See, that's why a lot of men don't date women that are too old. Now look, you baby, I say that all the time. Girl, I got to stand on high heel shoes and mess with you, though. But anyway, but
you guys, I appreciate
you got to be able to have some goals when it comes to relationships at our age. I ain't trying to go and buy no house and build no business and all that. Come on, man, that's stressful. I'm trying to do you. We can travel. We don't need a whole lot. You understand? Because we've had it. It's there. We talking about our kids. Look, my sons can take me, burn me up themselves. They don't have to cremate. Just burn me up and sneak me out on the golf course. Take that insurance money and enjoy it. When this soul leaves the body, it's all.
All right. Well, I thank you guys. I had to jump off here. Some closing thoughts. I appreciate you all so much. In conversations surrounding dating and sex, particularly among brothers, there emerges a blend of camaraderie and vulnerability that can be quite enlightening. Open discussions about relationships often reveal not only the joy and the challenges of dating, but also the complexity of sexual health. Erectile dysfunction, a topic that many may shy away from because of a crucial aspect of these conversations, highlighting the importance of mental and emotional well-being and intimate. It can foster a supportive environment where they can share experiences. We should not talk about this, ladies. We should always be able to be open-minded and help our brothers because there is age just set in on us. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm an advocate for human trafficking against our children. And are you or someone being sold for sex or made to force to work for little or no pay and cannot leave? Call the National Human Trafficking Resource Center at 888-373-7888 or the statewide hotline. That number is 866-363-4842. All victims of slavery and human trafficking have rights and are protected by the international, federal, and state laws. If anybody out there even witness it, please call. And again, I thank you. This is Tonya R. Lewis with the Diary of Dating Over 50. See you guys next time. Thank you.
Peace.
The hottest dating show on social media, hosted by the sassiest model of them all, Tonya R. Lewis. Are you 50 and single, dating or waiting to mingle? Be a guest on the Diary of Dating Over 50 with your host, Tonya R. Lewis.